So, welcome to today's video. We are taking a closer look at my finished pages and my WIPs. I will only show the WIPs I'm currently working on. All the other WIPs I have shown, I think, 2 months ago in a very long finished pages video. And as far as there is no progress in them, I won't show them again. First point is that it will make the video super long, and the other thing is I don't think that you guys want to see the pages every month over and over again without any progress. So I will only show where I did make progress or where I'm currently working on. I have looked at all the WIPs, and there are tons of, or biggest part of them are from Johanna Basford or Kirby Rosanes books. So because I didn't want to do like 30 pages only from those artists, I thought I will do one of those WIPs, and when I finish them, then I will do a completely new page in another book and switch between those. So I will work on the WIPs constantly, but also can do other pages when I say I want to do something different for the moment. So yeah, let's take a closer look at my current WIPs. The first one is in one of Johanna Basford books. Would have to look it up. What's the original World of Flowers? The German version is called Paradise of Flowers. I don't know why they change names or titles with books all the time. But yeah, the paper in the German editions is so much better. So if you can get your hands on those, can highly recommend the German paper over the English printed one. I have two English printed ones, so I have a direct comparison, and definitely won't ever buy the English editions again. So this was an untouched book. I did finish 6 pages this month, and my WIPs and my finished pages have 4 books that were previously untouched. So I think that's a good thing, good amount. So this was one of the WIPs I did with these hard oil pastels that I do have. This Miss By set, they are more like wax crayons, not really like soft oil pastels. And you can see it very, very easily how uneven the result of those oil pastels are. There are just some areas where you have a lot of the color, and then some areas where the color is a lot lighter. That's one of the problems. You have to do a sealing coat in between each layer, or you will scrap off the one underneath, and so on. You can't blend them very well. And also I've seen other colorists doing like working from the end and working with other mediums like colored pencils, which just won't work, because if you're getting too close, you're just scraping it off again. It also gets very high because you need at least 2 to 3 layers that you get a nice coverage with the oil pastels and not see white spots all over the place. And therefore it also gets the edge in between is very high. I did use washi tape to get a clean border, and I also did the washi tape here, but definitely I did it too far away. I must get a lot closer for that. Also unsure if maybe doing a better with masking fluid or other stuff, working with other stuff to get it a lot more closer would be nice. But like I said, with these oil pastels, it's really hard to do. I think with the softer ones, I've seen that all the time, that people are doing the softer ones and then using tools to get it even in the small nooks and crannies. You can't move this, so that's just not possible with those, but I will test it with the others when I've used those up. Yeah. Then I did the rest here with acrylic markers. I've used Guangna and Languo acrylic markers. I've used them for the background here, there, where the lettering this book belongs to in German. I will add this in the end with probably some gel pens, write this and the name Azinue, my name, on here in the end. I'm just working at the moment with the base layering of the flowers, also with the acrylic markers. And I wanted to test, because I've seen others doing this, with the second layer, some shading, like doing a little bit of shading with an acrylic marker and then using a wet brush to blend it. And that is something I wanted to test. And if that doesn't work out, then maybe working with a little bit of colored pencils on top, because I also I saw other people doing those two techniques and getting really beautiful results, and I thought I wanted to test this. So this is basically the test page for that. But yeah, it's not perfect, but I think in the end it will look quite okay. Yeah, so that's the first. Then I have another one in Flower Fairies from Jana Prosvirina. And this was also an untouched book previously. And the only reason I did make another WIP without finishing the other one before is that I finally, after having it for probably the last 5 or 6 years on my wish list, I finally have these plastic tray from Caran d'Ache, where you can put on like those Neocolor or other brands, or also these gel crayons like the Faber-Castell Gelatos, for example, and then lifting it off with those little brush, I don't know how they are called, brushes. The funny thing it is, in German you would calling it like Pinselbürste. And the thing is, Pinsel is brush in English, and Bürste is also brush, but the one is the brush, and the other one is the hairbrush, and that's so if you know how they are called in English, please let me know, because I searched the internet for how they are called in English, but if you don't really having a good name, you won't be able to find anything. And if I just let any kind of translation program translate Pinselbürste, then it's just saying brush, and that's definitely not how they are called in English. Can't imagine that. So yeah, but yeah, I used it from the tray and then applied these gel crayons as the background, and I'm super happy because I have those gel crayons. I have 3 cheap packs since probably 10-15 years, and I've never used them. I bought them for cheap in a dollar store many years ago because I thought they look interesting, they look funny. Never saw something like that before at that point. And then I just had them sitting here and never used it. I mean, they are water soluble. I could would be able to use it with water, but yeah. So then I saw others using those like that, and I thought I really, really wanted to try this so that I finally have a purpose and a usage out of those gel crayons. And it's turned out I didn't seal it, so it doesn't smudge. But the biggest problem I have thought I'm using this book because there are so many blank backgrounds. And I already searched one where I have the least amount of little nooks and crannies. But with the flowers, you always have them. And with the wings, you also have them. And I did only a washi tape as the outer border, but didn't do anything in here. I mean, it's thin copy paper, and even the washi tape did ruin the paper already here. So I was afraid to do something on top of here because I wasn't sure if it would damage the paper completely. But as you can see, I mean, it's my first try ever with those brushes and with the gel crayons. I did smear all over the place, basically. With the flowers, I could at least cover it a little bit, so it's not that strongly visible, but it's still visible. I did use just colored pencils from Obos on top of this. But definitely I need a better solution how to protect the areas I don't want the color on. So either I need something that can protect it, like masking tape, masking fluid, or something completely else. So if you have any tips and any help in this department, any experience, please let me know. What are you doing to protect those areas? Or I can only use those in areas where you have a big area to cover, but not as many nooks and crannies and stuff like that. So I'm totally undecided which is the best approach. So yeah, if you have ideas, let me know, please. But in the end, I must say I'm super happy how this soft background looks, and I really, really want to use those more. And yeah, we'll see. So that's the last WIP. This is the WIP I'm working currently on my live streams from Tales from the Forest Kingdom from Hanna Karlsson. And this is definitely the Hanna Karlsson book I have the most pages in, because I have all the books except the Christmas one so far. But I think I only worked in 2 books so far, and mostly in this one. So I think I have like 11 pages or so done in here, which is really a lot for me because I'm so slow with the coloring. Yeah, we've done the base layer with watercolors and worked on top of it with the Brutfuner 260 set. Yeah, I did a base layer around here with the satin glazing liquid because we have this very big empty background, and I thought a nice watercolor background could be cool here, and I really wanted to try to doing a watercolor background with the satin glazing liquid as a base layer, and hopefully it really works, that nothing will bleed through even if we put more water on it, because the back side is basically one of my favorite images in the whole book. I love her pages with those side profile pictures. They often have these tiara and the hairstyles that reminds me a little bit of the 1920s, and yeah, I really, really love this. And I don't want it to be ruined with a bleed through, especially if we want to use darker blues for the background. I'm still totally undecided with the back. That's why I said next week we will do the background with the watercolors first, because I wanted to only have the coat in red normally and the maybe the jewel here. But I also don't want everything limited on like 1, 2, 3, 4 colors with the background, and then doing like 5 other colors in the handbag. So I want to use at least colors that are already on the paper or very similar, so that it will fit. But I'm honestly so unsure how to do this. So yeah, I'm totally undecided. If you have any ideas, let me know. But yeah, that's our currently on stream project. And I'm happy because I really wanted to work another page in a Hannah Carlson book. So then now, before we go to the finished pages, there's only one finished own artwork this month. This is a viewer reward on Twitch. You can get channel points whenever you're watching, and if you have enough channel points, then you can get this Accio card, or not particularly this one, but Accio card with your with a wish motif. And I send those to my viewers then if they want the original at home. So yeah, this one is done. The wish was a witch with black hair. And I'm really happy how the hair turned out, and I'm especially happy about the light and dark shading with the dress, how the sheen or light on this shiny fabric turned out. I'm so happy about. So yeah, that's, I think, Accio card number 8, if I'm not completely mistaken, which I did for viewer reward so far. So yeah, this all will get a nice cardstock background with a beautiful printed cardstock, and the also then Accio card number and the title and date and so on. So yeah, that's the finished one. Then we switch to this book. Cocoa Princess is the name, and this has this shiny glossy paper, and there only really acrylic markers work well on. So I've bought, for this reason, a few years ago, because this is, you couldn't buy one of those. This is basically a set of 8 books, and I started with this one. They are very thin. There are not that many images in it. But I thought first trial was with gouache, but it lifts off so easily on this paper, so it was a really nightmare. And after 2 images, I said, no, that won't work. And then I've bought a super cheap set of acrylic markers. I think they only had like 24 or so acrylic markers in it. So the color palette is really limited. And I told myself I won't buy other acrylic markers before those aren't going empty. And they are now going empty. So this is with the old cheap acrylic markers done. And I did a second page this month in this one here with the star pillow. And this is done with my new acrylic markers from Langu, and I really did get a super deal on them, because they were basically I've bought the set with 126 acrylic markers, and they were already on sale for 25 euros. And I don't know why, but on the checkout I did get an additional 10 euro sale. So I paid basically 15 euros for 126 acrylic markers. I mean, come on, it's basically ridiculously cheap. That's nearly gifted. So I thought, okay, now let's buy them before my other set is completely empty. There are already a lot of the pens are struggling. So, and I really must say, in the beginning I thought I will only use it for here, but I now using the acrylic markers in so many other areas, and I really start to like them. So I would definitely not like here working with them on their own all the time. That's not something I enjoy that much, but I enjoy using them for example, for doing highlights or covering lines, and or like in other pages, like if you have a pattern to do on top of something, a very small pattern where it's hard to work around, then it's very helpful to have those acrylic markers where you just can work the pattern on top. So yeah, these are the two sides in here. Then another untouched book was the, what's it called? Magical Journey, it's called in the German one. Magical Words, yeah, that's, again, why? You could have called it Magische Welt, which would be the direct translation of the original title. Why translating it to Magical Journey? I don't know. Can't understand people renaming books. I mean, coloring books as well as novels or movies and stuff. Doesn't make any sense. Especially if sometimes you're looking at the German titles for movies, which are replaced with another English title. Like, for example, Magical, you would, instead of Magical World, you would just rename the book in English and call it Magical Journey. Why? I don't know. So yeah, this is another one of those oil pastel background whips. I mean, now it's a finished page, but it was one of those. I've used here a little bit from with the softer oil pastels I also have, just because the blue was done with the hard ones, but I don't have any turquoise and not so this dark cool green. I only have warm greens in the other one. So I have so many pages already done with the warm green. I wanted another one. So I've used the softer oil pastels here. That's why it looks a lot better. So also done used the Lango acrylic marker for the background here, and the rest is done with Lango gel pens. And gel pens, the metallic ones, like the butterflies in the end, what I written on top, because the original letters are of course covered with the acrylic markers. Those and the neon here, I think as well, those are basically super cheap gel pens from Lidl. So yeah, nothing special, but I thought it looks a little bit interesting and a little bit more than just having this super small image on a basically completely empty page. So yeah, this now has a finished page, or even it is touched, like this one here. This was an untouched book before as well. It is Lost in Time by R.J. Hampson with Mr. Fogarty and his little snail friend. And I've done the Vitruvian Frog, and this is from the light side. We have two copies in those books, and normally we have a light, and the other one is the dark version, where we have oftentimes this blackened areas, often in the background. But funnily, the Vitruvian Frog looks completely different here he has this nice little outfit, which looks a lot older than the one he's wearing here. I did this one, and I've used, because it's just copy paper basically, I've used also the 260 set from Brutfuner, and just used one copper metallic gel pen for the little buttons and the little pocket watch. You can see it's not super shiny, but sometimes I prefer the not so shiny ones over the super shiny ones. So yeah, this is my first ever done Mr. Fogerty page. And also, like I said, it was an untouched book. And another one that was untouched was this new book from Eerie, The Wonderful Land of Laura Mia. And I've done this page. When I first looked at the book and I looked at all the pages in here, I thought this is the first page I want to do, because I just thought it is so cute and funny, with the before and after images of the animals which went to the groomer. And we have the big and fluffy before images, and then the ones after grooming. And I just thought it's so damn cute and so funny. I wanted to do this so badly. So I based it completely with semi-art watercolors and worked with, I think also with the Brutfuners on top. I did basically nearly everything with the Brutfuners this month. Yeah, the Brutfuner set, 260, and a 12 pastel set. And then I used also the Lidl metallic gel pens for parts of the pattern from the tapestry, and also for the flowers are done with acrylic marker, which I thought it is easier, instead of really having to look that I have to work all over the area. I thought it's easier to use, this is what I meant with it's easy to use with patterns or so, because you don't have to look, especially with the super fine details, to not color over. If you're using in the end something like a gel pen on acrylic markers on top, where you just never see the mistakes you did underneath. So yeah, I think this is my second favorite page this month. And my favorite is my last finished page. And this is in Lost Ocean, which is translated to My Fantastical Ocean. Don't know why. Here it goes again. This is basically my first ever adult coloring book. I've bought it 2016 when it came out. And this is basically this one got me into coloring. I did the fish tapestry page. And I'm so happy and proud of how it looks. I think it came out absolutely gorgeous. I did already another tapestry page in here, where I had this limited color palette with the petrol turquoise and the red. And I've added some not so shiny red metallic to this. And I thought this gave it a little extra. Also, you can then work with, like, for example, 2 colors, but if you're using 1 or 2 of them, as a metallic color in any kind, then you have also like it's like another color, but without breaking the color scheme, which is very nice. And I thought this is something I want to do here as well. So we have base layered everything with watercolor, going over top of this with my super old cheap colored pencils that are leftovers from my childhood, plus some of the Obos watercolor pencils, just because I don't have all the colors anymore in this collection of all childhood pencils. So yeah, basically super cheap, the cheapest of the cheap colored pencils used on here. And then I've used the Sakra gel pen in black for the little eyes. I will try to show it closely. It gives this super glossy 3D effect. And then we used for the fishes and the flowers 2 different kind of golds. The first is the warmer gold, which is a super golden marker. It's basically an acrylic marker. And then I've used here the hybrid dual metallic gel pens in gold, which this one, the super golden marker, is a very shiny gold, and the other one is a very glittery gold. I hope you can see it at least a little bit, and you see the little eyes with the glossy 3D effect as well. And I did some the points that were on the flowers. I worked over those with the super golden marker as well. So yeah, I'm so happy how this turned out. I think it looks really, really good. Yeah, that basically are all my finished pages this month. I'd done 6 pages, worked in 4 untouched books, and did 1 own artwork. So I think it's probably for a lot of people it's not much, but for me, 6 pages done is a lot. So I'm happy with how many pages I did this month. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, a thumbs up or a follow is highly appreciated, because it really helps me in the channel so much. So thanks so much for that. And also, if you are interested in a body color, please let me know. I'm always open for those. Sorry. And yeah, if you have a favorite page, please let me know. Or if you have a request, like you really want to work me in one special book or so, just let me know, and I will see if I can get this done. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching, and hopefully see you soon in another video. Bye bye, take care guys.